You've heard of a DDM approach in valuing stocks. What does DDM stand for, and why is it used in practice? It stands for Dividend Discount Model, and it's supposed to help value stocks that pay dividends. It's also one of the most famous models in finance. The idea is simple. If a company keeps growing its dividends at a steady rate forever, we can estimate its value today. Forever? That sounds optimistic. Well, it's a simplification, but a useful one for stable and mature companies. The formula looks like this. Here, D1 is next year's dividend, R is the required rate of return, and G is the constant growth rate. But how do we get this formula? It looks like magic. It's actually based on an infinite series. Imagine dividends growing at a rate G every year. The present value of all future dividends is like summing an infinite geometric progression. If the required return R is greater than G, the series converges to D1 divided by R minus G. That's the Gordon growth model. So if R is less than or equal to G, the sum explodes to infinity. Right, if dividends grow as fast or even faster than the discount rate, then the stock's value would be theoretically infinite. And that doesn't make sense in reality. Okay, let's try an example. Suppose a stock just paid a €5 dividend, grows at 5% per year, and we require an 8% return. Then, so the stock's worth €175 today? Yes, but remember, the numerator is next year's dividend, not today's. What if growth is higher than GDP? Can we still use it? Not really. The model assumes sustainable growth. If a company grows faster than the economy forever, then it would eventually take over the world. Fair point. So for high growth firms, we'd use a multi-stage model instead. Start with high growth, then transition to a more stable growth. And how is the required rate of return R determined? There are several approaches to determining the required rate of return R. One is the popular capital asset pricing model, where the return required by investors depends on systematic risk measured by beta. Another is the build-up approach, where successive risk premia are stacked on top of each other to determine the required rate of return. So the Gordon growth model is great for stable, dividend-paying firms, and not for hyper-growth stocks. Exactly, and always check that R is greater than G, otherwise the math breaks down.